I don't want to give people the idea that Aleph Tavs are so abundant throughout the entire Old Testament Tanakh that I could interpret them to mean just about anything I want them to. That is so far from being accurate. And once you see the placement of where the Aleph Tavs are in Scripture text, you will understand this could not be so. The truth is, there are nearly 800,000 words translated into English in the Tanakh, and the amount of Aleph Tavs associated within the Hebrew text is only around 1%. There are entire chapters where there are no Aleph Tavs, and some chapters that may only have 1 or 2 Aleph Tavs. And the reasoning is because the subject matter doesn't merit the placement of the Aleph Tavs in every sentence throughout 95% of the Tanakh. Even though there are over 9,000 Aleph Tavs, I have found that they are only placed in the Hebrew text when the subject matter is in regard to the Yahed in relationship to possession through the covenant concerning people, persons, places, and things, and also when it comes to blessings or judgments. The Aleph Tavs are placed in the text, firstly, because the character symbol originally meant, and still does mean, strength of the covenant. But it is only when we understand that the Yahed has worked together with man in a protocol that does not change from the beginning that we see that Father is actually working by His Spirit both with and through Yeshua the Messiah in regard to specific events. This is marvelous to behold and understand, and why the Apostle John proclaimed Yeshua as the Aleph and the Tav, and started off his gospel with, "In the beginning," to point us to how Yeshua was with Father from the beginning, and that all things were created through him that was made, and that Father actually communicates his words through Yeshua, and is the reason John also declares Yeshua to be the Word made flesh. The placement of the Aleph Tav in text is Yeshua's fingerprint, which reveals his presence in the living Word. The Scripture says that Moses dealt with Elohim face to face. The placement of the Aleph Tav confirms that Moses was actually dealing with Yeshua. Confirmation of this is Yeshua in John 3:13, which proclaims, "No man has ascended up to heaven except the Son of Man." And again in John 1, verse 18, "No man has seen Elohim at any time, only the begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father. He declared him." Paul confirms this in 1 Timothy 6, verse 16, which states, "Who alone possesses immortality and dwells in unapproachable light, whom no man has seen or can see." So from Adam to Abraham and Moses to Daniel, everyone who claimed to be dealing with the Almighty face to face was actually dealing with Yeshua, who is the image of Father and one with him. And the placement of the Aleph Tavs confirmed this. This alone should cause all believers, regardless of denomination, to get excited about the Aleph Tav in the Old Testament Tanakh. But let me take you to the next level and show you something amazing, which I touch on in the bonus level section of the introduction in the Messianic Aleph Tav scriptures. And that is when the Aleph Tav is used with other Hebrew letters. This is something Father just recently showed me. And without getting into too much detail, let me say that there are 10 different sacrifices explained in the Torah in regard to the temple and the altar. Each one has a specific meaning and purpose in our relationship with the Yahed. And they are the present offering or gift offering, the ascent offering, the libation or drink offering, the tribute or money offering, the burnt offering, the trespass or guilt offering, the wave offering, the approach offering, the peace offering, and lastly, we have the sin offering. Out of all the offerings, only the sin offering has the Aleph Tav in the Hebrew word. The English word offering is actually implied. This is actually the word for sin in Hebrew. Do you see the correlation? The other two Hebrew letters is the chet, pronounced het, and the tet. The het means border or fence or to protect, and the tet means snake or surround or mark, which in this regard can only be revealing how sin can separate us from the Aleph Tav. Yet it is only by the working of the Aleph Tav that the offender can be purified and cleansed and made guiltless. And this offering was burned outside the camp and never eaten. Is this word not an amazing picture? Folks, there's not a jot or a tittle in the Torah that is out of place or without divine meaning. Hebrew is the language of the Yahed, and the Aleph Tav holds treasures just waiting to be discovered. I'm Bill Sanford, trying to put the Aleph Tav in proper perspective in our day. Shalom.